Sarah.
And I'm Jo.
Really happy to have you here today. Today's episode we're doing is on self-regulating behaviours and stimming. Now, stimming behaviours are things such as flapping or jumping around, things that our kids or adults do to help calm themselves down. They may not be aware that that's what they're doing, but they seem to have, a lot of kids have just developed these things, and often if you try and take those things away, they find other ways to cope. So I've got a few things written down. Everybody does stim in a certain way. Neurotypical people stim in a certain way, whether it's fidgeting with things, babies with their dummies or sucking their thumbs. They do things to calm themselves down.
I eat.
Do you? Yeah, I do. Yeah. But as is the case with most things, autism is behaviours to the extreme. So, whereas we do things, like I am very OCD about certain things, and if I touch something with my left hand, I have to touch it with my right hand. But at the same time, if I don't, I can cope. And I can actually say to myself, I really want to touch that with my right hand, but I won't. So I can cope with it, whereas I think kids with autism, firstly, they don't have that self-consciousness. They'll just do it if they need to do it.
And if you don't allow them to do it, they'll probably go into a full meltdown.
Yeah, exactly.
And often you don't even realise that's why.
No, that's right.
In the early stages,
Yes.
if you take something off them, they go into full meltdown, and you're like, but I just took a snake or a lolly off them, a lollipop, but that was what they were using to calm themselves in a stressful situation. So yeah, it's good to keep that in mind.
Yeah, some things that just, I was saying to Jo before that there was a story I heard about somebody that she was a teacher, and there was a boy at her school who was playing with sand every lunchtime, and he wasn't socialising that much, he was just playing with the sand bit, and he would just watch it fall through his hands, and they tried to redirect his behaviour in another way, and she said, well, in the end, he decided to take up anal exploration. So his choice of playing with sand was a much nicer stimming activity than his second choice.
Better the devil you know sometimes.
Absolutely. I mean,
yes.
Sometimes it doesn't hurt. Obviously, there are different things that can. I know with my Beth, who's 16, she does things that I'm amazed that she actually hasn't hit her head. She will put her head down between her legs, and she'll lay it up like this, and she'll do it in the bathroom. So she'll get off the toilet and she'll do it, and I think, oh my God, she's going to hit herself on the sink. She hasn't, but it does scare me. There are times that you have to say, stop doing that, because it can be dangerous.
Same with Daniel, he loves to spin, but he either spins or he does this with his head.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is really cool, because he can do it without getting dizzy. And he loves to squint and look at light through the side of his eyes.
Yeah.
And he loves to eat crayons. So when I got Patrick some new crayons, I said, look, make sure you put them away, because Daniel's going to eat them. And he's like, okay, Mummy. And he forgot. So yes, that was fun. And he loved the sand. He can eat handfuls of sand.
Yeah.
And really, I hate to say it, but he did have the smoothest backside.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, you've got to look at the bright side.
Is Beth ate sand and Play-Doh? I think it's the salt content.
I think so too. Luckily enough, at Kinder, they make it from scratch, so it was good enough to eat.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they put so much salt in it, that's the problem.
Yes.
Sort of stuff.
But you know, if it's... Now he
And
loves
it
to...
changes the colour of their poo.
Yeah, exactly. Joseph and his many-coloured poos.
Technicolor poo. Anyway. Sorry, poo was last week.
He loves to... Yes, come on, keep with the program. He loves to lick the salt off like a potato crisp, and also off hot chips.
Yeah.
If he doesn't feel like the
Beth
chips...
does that, well, she'll wipe her finger on the plate.
Yeah.
And we've got a salt lamp that I'll show you actually. I'll get into shot here. This salt lamp used to have a pointy head, and now it's a bit rounded because I found Beth sucking on it one day. So yes, that's her stimming thing is salt as well. So yes, sorry about that.
And also another thing that Daniel does is he does what's called lip smacking, and the only way to stop him, and I know he's 8, so please don't tell me I'm doing a bad thing, is giving him the dummy.
Yeah. I know.
And you know, it's whatever works.
Yeah,
it's whatever
right.
works, and I don't want him to walk around with a clown mouth, really.
Yeah.
So, and he knows that the dummy can't be out in public.
Yeah.
So,
whatever gets you through, really, isn't it? Beth
That's
tends
right.
to fling herself around a lot, and she jumps. So you'll be walking down the street, and she'll just go, and she'll jump in the air. And we go into school, and the kids would laugh at her. So I used to, when she was younger, leap in the air after her, as if to go, "This is great fun. I'm happy to be here."
Yeah.
And then they go, "Oh, okay then." Because there's no harm in it.
yeah, Daniel, he just laughs, and I think what he's doing is recalling a really funny movie that he's on. So he'll go, and I'll go, "Oh, yeah," and then I start laughing. I go, "Oh, Daniel, are you thinking of something really funny?" And he'll go, but then you know, it reminds you of like how to feel pure joy.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So well, I know friends of mine, you know, we when Beth is like that, we'll say, "Oh, I want a little bit of what she's having, you know, I want a bit of Beth in me," because she does. She loves her life.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Everything's beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. We do that, don't we?
Yeah.
Just, you know, reasons for stimming may be routines and rituals are changed, e.g. the route taken home from school. And I'll skip to the next actually, because we have got ways that you can combat that, which may be if that is what the issue is, then you could do things like having a visual storyline or PECs so that they're able to be warned that this is going to happen. So say, for example, tonight we're going to the shops on the way home from picking her up from school, so you could have a picture of Kmart or wherever the shop is that you're going, and then they're prepared, and you can have what their reward will be for
at the end. So you could have like a storyboard.
Yeah.
And you could have like the different pecs stuck on Velcro.
Yes, that's what we had it on a ruler with Beth, so that and you had a finished box, so that you would take whatever it was off that you had finished doing and you would put it in the finished box, and that way you can change the routine around a little bit, so that they're prepared for it.
Yes.
So instead of having school pick up home, you could have school pick up shops at home, and then have it equals, you know, whatever the reward is, so that they're prepared for it.
Yeah, exactly. Or even just being prepared. They probably don't even need the reward, as long as they know
that's right,
that you're making a pit stop in between your usual routine. I think that they'll be...
And if they can see that home is after that, if you've still got home on there, then they know that eventually it's going to go back to routine. So.
And then just have an iPad pics on the end.
Yeah, that's right. So that's, or a reward system, or teach your child to ask for things, whether it's using a help sign or in sign language, planning for situations, which we've said. And then when they do well, actually say to them, "Well done, we did something a little bit different today and you coped really well with it." So really make a big deal of how well they've done.
Because I think they do like to please us. We may think that they actually don't. We may think that they just like to rebel. But I know that Daniel, deep down, you know, he smiles inside when he does something good and makes Mummy happy.
Yeah. Beth smiles inside when she does something that's really pissed me off. She loves doing that. Sensory sensitivities. Now, we'll actually do a whole episode on this because that's a huge one. But I know with my Beth, most of her issues come from hearing issues. So it's overwhelming noises, almost like, you know, with dogs with their sound. She can hear things that we can't. So it could be the sound of an elephant. We had a situation where, you know, you had to preempt everything. You have to read their minds. We couldn't watch ABC Kids, and I found out that the reason why is just in case there was an ad, and on the ad it would be for Sesame Street, and if it was a Sesame Street ad, then it could have Oscar the Grouch in it, and if it had Oscar the Grouch in it, it could have his elephant Stompy in it, and if the elephant Stompy was in it, he could make the elephant noise. So we eventually had to avoid watching ABC Kids completely, just in case this elephant ever came on. But it just took forever to figure out that that's what it was.
Wow.
And she would run out of the room, run into people.
It's just not worth it, is it really?
No. I mean, she copes with it better now. But,
Yes.
And of course she had selective mutism, so she couldn't tell me. So she would just rock with her hands over her ears and you just had to guess what was going on. She had a full-blown meltdown one day because I didn't know that one of her buttons was undone.
How dare you?
2 hours.
Yeah.
It just went on and on. Anyway, tiredness could be another reason why. And discomfort. Sensory.
Yes. And hunger.
Yes.
But Daniel's very visual. He's like, if he needs to see the packet from where his food has come from.
Oh, okay.
Because he won't accept imitations.
Wow.
Like he has to have the actual grain waves as opposed to the
home grain
the
waves.
or the different supermarket
Yep.
versions. And he'll actually look for the packet. So,
Yeah. That's clever. That's very clever.
Well,
I reckon.
for him, not for us if we're trying to save a bit of coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tags we were saying before about tags on clothing and scratchy clothing.
Yes, and
I know
seams.
kids that actually will wear their clothes inside out so that their seams aren't against their skin. Don't wear shoes or get socks without the seams because of the seam thing over the toes. There's a lot of kids with those sensitivities and a lot of adults with those sensitivities.
Yes.
So I've got certain ones. I wear my nightie inside out so I don't have my tag on my back of my neck. I know I'm a freak.
Yeah, that's another show. With Dr. Phil.
Okay, we might have some quotes from some of our viewers. What do you think? We've had a few viewers write in,
Yes.
watching our show or writing into our Facebook page, which if you have any input, Facebook page is great. We've also got our website up and running now, which is JasChat.com, and you can send us emails on chat@jaschat.com. So if you want to see any particular shows, or if you've got any input into some of the shows that we're going to do, please feel free to drop us a line and we'll see what we can do.
Yes, because we're quite happy to add a mailbag section.
Absolutely.
Just like 60 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll leave it to you. Who have you got
Let
first?
me tell you what Jess from Belgrave says. So some of the things that her boys have done is slapping and punching others and furniture, jumping on furniture, beds and the trampoline, rocking, flapping, spinning, squeezing into tight spots, licking windows in a shopping centre and the salt lamp, as Beth once did. I'm sure she still feels she should. And rolling like a commando, and also seeking out rocks, dirt, tree bark to touch and play with. Just on that, can I just add, a few years ago, we had a little bit of a mother's group, and this woman goes, "My son won't eat a beautifully cooked meal, but he'll go into the backyard and he will choose possum poo." Like, how frustrating is that? So, yeah.
Beth used to do that. We had chooks and she'd go out and she'd pick the chook poo off of the thing and...
Yeah, see?
Anyway.
Okay, and Kirsty from the Dandenong Rangers said that her daughter often seeks deep pressure by squashing herself into boxes or sleeping under a rug in the lounge, or she fills her bed with her soft toys and likes to sleep under them.
It does seem that, that there are weighted products which we can put a link on our website to the places that sell the weighted products, because we got a card at an expo we went to last week. Because they're said to be quite good. Beth has a snake that is filled with beans that she puts around her neck, and if I hear her bouncing on her bed, I'll go in, I'll go, "Beth, you go, where's Snakey? And she'll put Snakey around her neck. Yeah, you can get weighted vests, you can get weighted blankets. I think the whole pressure thing, like in Temple Grandin,
The hugging machine.
Yeah, that's what they do. They like
best.
to be wrapped up, and that's what with Kirsty saying with her daughter with the blanket, wrapping them up almost like a swaddle, like you do with a baby. I think that's they like that. Yeah, I know of kids that have climbed actually underneath mattresses as well. So.
Well, I like to get, even if it's really hot, have the air conditioner going and get under the doona, just because.
Yeah, it's just
That's
nice to have that.
yeah.
Light. And even general exercise. Like I know at our kids' primary school, sometimes they'll have in the mornings they'll just do a run around the school to regulate them and settle them. And some activities, they used to do it with Beth if she was starting to get a bit frantic in the classroom or something. They might just give her the job of carrying a box to the office, and then that would just give her something exercise-wise to do. It would stabilise her a little bit, and so things like that are always a good thing as well.
A distraction.
Yeah. Now Michelle from Perth, hello to our viewers in Perth, has written to us as well and said that she does habitual things to self-regulate herself. She does things like she taps her back teeth together, and I know that there are quite a lot of kids and adults that have got issues with their teeth because they grind their teeth. So she does that. She also does almost, I would call it like a piano playing. She says there's no necessary surface, but it's like she's tapping on a surface with her fingers, and she might do that. That's something that you could sort of do if you were wanting to hide it, maybe. You could do it like that. She also knows of somebody who, when he was a child, would turn his head from side to side constantly at quite a high speed. So, yeah, like that, which Beth does a little bit as well. She does do that, and that would regulate him. And it was, and his mum would say that it was because he was tired and he did it to rock himself to sleep. But that was him stimming. She says in hindsight, as an adult, she can see that was what he was doing at the time. So there's lots of different things, and I guess it's just depending on whether it really hurts other people. They might look weird, but if that's what is used to calm them down, and that's, if you were to take away things that you do to calm down, you wouldn't be very happy about it. So as long as it's not actually hurting people, I don't think that it's an issue.
Exactly. That's right, so don't take my credit card away. But yeah, no, if it's not hurting the animals, the humans, the walls, or anything like that, then, it's okay. Just think it's the lesser evil, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's also, if your kids love to jump around, and you can get little tent-like things that zip up, and they're just like a blow-up kind of jumping castle.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's an option too. I suppose that would be in the most extreme cases, if your children like to fling themselves around and.
I don't mind. Oh, there's padded rooms.
Well, that's what it is. It's similar to that,
Yeah.
which sometimes I've felt the need for, but yeah.
For yourself or
Yes.
for Daniel? Yeah.
No, Daniel's fine. I'm the one who needs the straitjacket.
Okay, well, hopefully we've got a bit of information there for you, and we might leave it at that then.
Yeah,
So,
but we will be looking at each of these things in greater detail, because I think that they're really interesting things, and I think we need to look at the psychology behind it, and that this is where you need to look beyond the actual behaviour, because there's always a reason for the behaviour.
Yes, but then there's some things that I think that, I know that there are things that need changing. There are things that if it is dangerous, but some things are just what our kids are, and I don't think that Beth's going to stop doing what she's doing. And I think if it's not hurting anyone,
that's right.
That's her way of coping.
Absolutely,
that's what she does. So,
but if it is, then you could look into it. And
absolutely, yeah. But yeah, we will certainly do another episode on sensory issues, because that's a huge one. That's
massive, yes.
And if there's any more information that anyone would like on this episode, just let us know, and we will do our best to extend.
We certainly will.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.